Good afternoon from Jim Proudford. Welcome to Ibrox, where after a turbulent week, Rangers are just delighted to get on with the business of playing football. Much has been said in the wake of Chris Boyd's proposed move to Birmingham, which has, of course, fallen through. But Rangers' willingness to sell their leading scorer, even in this financial climate, has drawn criticism from some quarters. Today, though, the Ibrox crowd will be treated to a view of one of the men who represents the future of the club as 17-year-old John Fleck makes his debut. Falkirk gave a debut to Stephen Presley, the much-travelled former Scotland international, who signed this week after his release from Randers in Denmark. Presley, who started his career here, will play as a sweeper in a back five, which also includes Jackie McNamara, who won 4 league titles with Celtic. Former Rangers man Neil McCann's in midfield, that's bereft of the injured Burton O'Brien, and Steve Lovell's recalled up front in place of Michael Higdon. John Fleck's uncle Robert finished his Rangers career back in 1987 after breaking into the team as a teenager and scoring some crucial goals under Graham Souness. Now Fleck Jr. hopes to tread the same path. He's already been linked with some of the big clubs down south, and this represents his full debut on a day where Rangers hope not just to close the gap on Celtic at the top of the table, but that their performance on the field will do much to quell some of the unrest, which, as I say, has only come from some quarters of the Rangers support. Foul by Pedro Mendes. Scobie. Scobie. Ferguson. Breaks down in midfield, which gives Tam Scobie the opportunity to bring it forward. Neil McCann's outside him. There's a firm-blooded challenge by Kirk Broadfoot. Now Ferguson will bring it away to find Miller. Here's Fleck, first touch for the youngster. Mendes. Well, John Fleck has made 4 previous appearances for the Rangers first team, all as a substitute, having made a seasonal bow at St Johnstone on Tuesday night in Rangers Cup success. Gets his first chance to shine today. And certainly his performance will be under the spotlight. Foul by Chris Boyd on Stephen Presley, who is part of the national team's coaching staff, of course, now back in the SPL. He gets the opportunity to see some of his national squad firsthand. Former Rangers and Celtic player, of course. Here's McBride. And Scobie couldn't keep it in. Barr climbing over the top of Chris Boyd. Chris Boyd, who has scored 16 goals in his last 15 games. Forward from Fleck. Plenty of vociferous support for Boyd, who flicks it off here for Fleck. Appeals for handball as he tried to tease it on towards Kenny Miller. McNamara's crossfield ball picking out Scobie. Well, Rangers certainly felt as though they should have had a free kick in what would have been a really good position there, but play goes on. Presley. Arfield's flick on, but Lovell had come short to meet it rather than spinning round the back of Weir. Sasha Papac turning ably inside Arfield. Poor ball towards Broadfoot, cut out easily by Neil McCann. Nice turn by McBride. Arfield. Kevin McBride brings McNamara into play again. Now Bullen. Presley. Being reminded of his former Celtic loyalties every time he touches the ball. Now he's out of position. Bullen couldn't get the challenge in. Darren Barr could, and it was an absolutely vital interception because Kenny Miller was breaking forward with Boyd unmarked in the centre. He'd seen him as well, but Barr just got there in the nick of time. Ferguson. Davis. Broadfoot in his most advanced position so far. Now Davis with time to measure the cross. He's gone for the deep one. And Jackie McNamara, not taking any chances, concedes the first corner. Plenty of space for Davis. Not the best delivery. Bullen got a shout from McNamara to leave it. And Jackie McNamara concedes the corner. Fleck runs away from the near post, trying to create a little bit of space. McBride was there to clear. Papach. Mendes first to the loose ball. Miller closed down quickly by McBride, couldn't do anything constructive with it. And Presley digs it clear for Arfield. Rangers cleverly stopping there, backtracking and getting level offside. Rangers have won the last 5 matches between these two teams, including a 7-2 victory here last season. Falkirk's last win coming at the Falkirk Stadium just before Christmas in 2006 with Mark Twaddle's goal, enough to win the game for them on that occasion. And Bagheera turning into trouble, but it was a foul by Arfield. Ferguson. McNamara keeping it in. Arfield. Nice layoff from Lovell. Mendes winning the battle of the two number 4s against Paddy Craig. This kick from Fleck. McBride takes it on. Papach firm into the challenge again, and then back on his feet quickly to stop the quick throw from Arfield. Poor touch by Bullen. Presents possession back to Rangers. Mendes. Challenge coming in from Craig. Back in the side today, Pat Craig, one of 3 changes that John Hughes has made. Regaining his place with Burton O'Brien out of the side with a groin strain. Still without Gerard Affias as well. Davis, Boyd. The last touch came off Presley. Broadfoot Papac. Layoff comes from Mendes. Well, he has a habit of producing the spectacular, as he proved in devastating fashion at Inverness last week, but it wasn't to be on that occasion. Well charged down, and it could be the catalyst for a Falkirk counter-attack here. Presley. McBride. And Lovell is offside again. He's been able to restrict the opportunity so far, along with Brian Rice, hoping that this will bring a first win in 8 SPL games for the Bairns today. Foul by Craig on Miller. McNamara. Presley. He might be 35, but he's not the oldest in that. Done in the Falkirk back line today. Lee Bullen at 37, and Davey Weir, their opponent, 38. Nice ball from McCann, and McGregor got a foot to it, but nothing more. Steve Lovell gives Falkirk the lead. The Bairns a goal up. Lovell have been making the run inside the Rangers back line almost since the first whistle, and they consistently managed to get him offside, but not this time. Timed his run to perfection, the through ball from McCann. And although McGregor got a strong foot to it, it wasn't enough to keep it out. And Falkirk lead at Ibrox by a goal to nil. It was all about the timing of the run from Steve Lovell. And the pass was pretty good from McCann as well. "12 minutes in. Falkirk lead at Ibrox. Broadfoot. Davis. Kenny Miller. It's all about the reaction from the Rangers players now. High ball in from Davis. Spilt by the goalkeeper, and an instinctive effort back across the face of goal goes wide. Robert Elation, it came out. Didn't really get a clean pair of hands to it. Under a little bit of pressure, but nevertheless would have expected to do better than that. Papac had to go in first time, and had anybody been coming in at the far post, there would have been a chance. Suspicion of a push by Boyd on Bullen, perhaps it wouldn't have counted. Presley battling with Boyd, helped on by Ferguson. Fleck, Papac, now Mendes. High ball swung in by Kurt Broadfoot. Boyd does well to keep it alive. Ferguson was shaping up for the acrobatic. Arfield's clearance hitting Mendes, but Falkirk will be able to bring it away with Scobie. Lovell for Arfield. Mara's ball forward, too long for Lovell. It's his goal that separates the sides. Rangers fans will remember trading to a very early goal from Hamilton's James MacArthur here a few weeks ago. And they ended up in a 7-1 home victory. A long, long way to go yet. Seven ahead of Pedro Mendes as he drives it inside the penalty area. Header away came from Bullen. McBride. Not starting to his debut that he would have wanted, John Fleck. Side a goal down in the very early stages. On the ground where Falkirk haven't won in the league for 83 seasons. Is today going to be the day? Broadford. Sending those significant dissenting noises from the crowd at this stage, despite the fact that at the end of a difficult week it is the visitors who have the early lead. McCann, the former Rangers man who supplied the sublime pass for Lovell's goal. Papach. Now Fleck takes it forward. Chris Boyd's offside. Boyd just about offside. Yep. Davis, Miller, back for Davis. Fleck couldn't quite take it into his stride and gave Bullen the opportunity to clear. Arfield throws himself in and wins it cleanly. The referee, in fact, thought that Arfield was fouled. Plays the advantage with Falkirk in possession. Scobie. McCann kept it in and invites the run forward from Lovell. Weir committed himself, but Rangers able to defend mob-handedly. Peguera guarding it back for his goalkeeper. They haven't really been able to get going and create too much in the way of sublime forward movement. Yeah, Rangers. Ferguson thought that he was fouled. Here's Papach. Mendes with a touch. Forward from Ferguson for Boyd. That was a difficult opportunity as he stretched. Could do no more than get his right foot to it. This is the moment that Barry Ferguson didn't realise Craig was coming. Certainly didn't think much of the challenge. Fleck. Now Kenny Miller. Well, Walter Smith had to spend the usual Friday press conference defending the way that Rangers have been going about things. He certainly has not been happy with much of what has been said. Goal from Lovell. The difference between the two sides with 20 minutes having gone now. Here's Miller. Davis. Bullen ducked his head in and won it back. Craig then finds Arfield, who's fouled. Scott Arfield, who scored twice against Queen of the South last weekend in Falkirk's victory in the Cup. Here's Miller, Presley, back for Alejnik. Now Davis. I think he was caught in two minds in the end. Boyd didn't make the run that he was anticipating. I think he just tried to tease it forward for him. And Kenny Miller driving forward after the initial mistake. And as Davis just tried to get it in, he missed all three targets ahead of him. That doesn't look unduly concerned yet, Ali McCoist, but haven't been firing going forward so far, Rangers. Papach. Mendes. McNamara and Craig between them, able to clear. Pedro Mendes is another player who's been linked with a move away. Well, he has already played for Portsmouth and Rangers this season, and there is much conjecture about whether he would actually be allowed to have another cross-border move. Broadfoot making a good run forward. Tries to set it up for Mendes. A really good block at the expense of a corner, but Craig threw himself in. Deep corner headed back across. Not past Robert Alejnik. Guerrero made the near post run. It was Davy Weir that got his head to it, but couldn't divert it past the big Austrian goalkeeper. He's just kept the one clean sheet so far this season, back in September. It's one today, and it's a famous victory. McBride, now McCann. McCann. Craig. Hoisted high by Bullen. Returned by Weir. Mendes. Area for Broadfoot. Scobie off balance, but he was still able to deal with the ball, which was intended for Broadfoot's run. And just not really getting themselves into potent positions on too many occasions, finding this five-man Falkirk back line a little bit too stiff a test in the early stages. But McCann. Rangers starting the weekend 5 points behind Celtic, who go to Aberdeen tomorrow. Certainly the grand scheme of things, if they were hoping to close the gap. It's a game they've got to win. Falkirk having picked up just 6 points away from home all season in their 10 matches. A solitary victory on the road at Kilmarnock. Still a side who epitomise hard work, as we've seen there with the pressure on Majid Bagheera. Unfair pressure in the end from Tam Scobie. Miller. Bagheera. Weir. Broadfoot's done really well, taking it around the back of Scobie. And Miller! Alleging it with a vital hand to help it on its way over the bar. Good play by Kurt Broadfoot. Boyd with the intelligent layoff. It's a really good save. Denying Miller his first goal in 6 games. And more crucially, a Rangers equaliser. Corner again is sent in deep towards Weir. Mendes first to the second ball. Now Papach. Weir. And the offside flag is up as Kenny Miller makes the run. Well, this is the closest the Rangers have come to their equaliser. Just had time to take that touch. It was a really good save by Robert Olejnik. Lovell helping it on, but there was nobody in that half of the pitch for Falkirk. Weir. Away by Bullen. Anywhere will do as far as Falkirk are concerned. This is clearly on Rangers. Just to try and break down this Falkirk back line. It's worked very well with Presley sweeping in behind the markers of Bullen and Barr. Miller. Boyd. First sight of goal today for Chris Boyd, who remains a Rangers player, has been linked with a move to Italy. David Murray, the gentleman who's under fire in some quarters. There have been plenty of people who have indicated that Rangers supporters who aren't happy with the current direction the club is taking should look at exactly what David Murray has achieved in his reign at Ibrox. Amongst those more vociferous critics of the critics, Falkirk manager John Hughes, who felt that everything was being blown out of all proportion. Papach. Mendes. Ferguson. Broadfoot. Ended up not even getting a corner. Just ran away from a little Kurt Broadfoot, and that touch was the one that was a bit heavy. As it hit Scobie, it just possibly flicked back off Broadfoot's instep. And a goal kick was the verdict, and half an hour into the game, the Rangers still find themselves trailing to the team second bottom of the SPL. think Boyd wanted to take that, but nobody else offering themselves. He ended up restarting play himself. Arfield. McGregor was off his line, and Arfield just kept him honest. Good attempt by the teenager. Instinctive shot on goal with McGregor off his line, but he did have it covered. Miller. Davis with a brisk layoff for Kirk Broadfoot. Ferguson. Fleck. Ferguson. Mendes. Davis. Mendes. Now Weir. Build up is patient in the extreme from Rangers and pretty ineffective at the end of it as well. Some very unhappy faces all around us at the moment. Ferguson. Davis. Miller. And the chase is on. Lejnik. Slow starter coming off his line, but he certainly got there in time. He still only had the one significant save to make. Here's McCann. Davis. Miller. The space ahead of him, and Chris Boyd's ahead of him as well. Once more, Lejnik slow coming out, and the referee has given has he given a corner? He said that Lejnik took the ball. This is a really controversial moment. The yellow card that's coming out, I think, is for dissent from Miller. Barry Ferguson, the Rangers captain, is furious, and I think he may well have a case. Willie Cohen produces the yellow card. It's dissent for Kenny Miller. Now, should it have been a penalty? He was slow coming off his line a few moments ago and slow coming off his line there. Well, you decide. Willie Collum gave the corner, and I don't think there are too many in the ground that agree with it. In comes the corner, and Lejnik, with a comfortable play, is able to take the sting out of the situation. Boyd's waved up. McGregor uses the full length of his penalty area, and Lovell just might have left his foot in there. Boyd flicking it on for Miller this time. Flex in the centre. He said well to try and tease it in, and McCann's lost it. Ferguson He goes down. Nothing, that was a penalty. Here's Broadfoot. Now Kenny Miller, onside, across the face of goal, and nobody there to get a touch to tap it in. Rangers getting closer. Went for the far post, and it should have been a corner. Good attempt by Kenny Miller. It was Miller who played the ball for Chris Boyd for the penalty shout. Darren Barr's header. Here's Weir. Fleck. Now Papach. This is much better from Rangers, their best spell of the game. In from Fleck. Mendes! Well, on a number of occasions, he's been the man that has been able to provide from distance in spectacular fashion, but not at that juncture. Great shape on the shot. Well, it's only the top of the net that it hit. Well, play is stopped here because of a knock to Steve Lovell's head. Now Miller, he's offside. It was this flick that caught him offside, and it was mightily close. Well, Lovell is being called over by the referee here. It's his reaction which Willie Collins taken exception to, and he clearly feels as though there was an elbow thrown by Davy Weir. That was what he was gesticulating. Here's Broadfoot. Papach. Easily away by McBride, and now Craig, but he's put under pressure by Mendes. Fleck has done well to keep it in. Away by Bullen. Davis. Broadfoot offering space to his right-hand side. Fleck. Round the first challenge, and the second challenge brings him down. Yellow card, an easy decision, that one. And again, John Fleck's pace causing real problems. And he's also given a free kick in a very decent area for Rangers. In from Davis. Broadfoot with the header back across the face of goal. And another penalty claim falls on deaf ears. Miller thought he was pulled down as he went for the spectacular overhead kick. Well, Kenny Miller has already talked himself into the book once. He was absolutely sure that that should have been a penalty. It's the third penalty claim.